a classmate of mine came up to me and genuinely asked me, "Where do you have to go nowadays to find samurai?" Now, given the honoring title of a leader of tomorrow, I know my role is not quite to reflect back on yesterday, let alone 50,000 yesterdays ago, but there's something I'd like to share from Bushido, which is the code of moral principles that govern the samurai, the Japanese equivalent to medieval chivalry. The first of these virtues was rectitude, or justice, which was the power of making decisions based on reason. The second was the spirit of daring and bearing based on these judgments of justice, and this is what they called courage. Now, when I think about courage, I think about it as a combination of a passion and a fear. It's about acting to change something or clinging on to not change something because you believe that there is merit or moral value in it. I bring this up because the idea of rewarding courage is, on the surface, contradictory. Courage is inherently an antithesis of reward. And considering that courage is something that questions the status quo, who are we to assume, we who act based on values of the present, that we can fairly reward courage anyway? So maybe the only fair reward for courage is the purpose for which it stands. Now you're probably thinking, it seems that there's not enough, if there's ever enough, courageous energy in the world today. And what do we do about that? With a little bit of courage myself, I'd like to suggest that there is a little more subtle way of going about this, which is, let's not go towards maximizing courage in societies, but rather towards minimizing courage by changing the culture in our communities so that we can act based on our virtues without having to feel courageous. We don't necessarily need to feel that courageous to live up to our virtues and to our wills. Our perception of our community is getting bigger and more diverse and more interconnected than it ever has been, and this is a good thing. Our ability to connect real time and find our own audience is shaping the power of people and movements worldwide. We're in a world where we can tweet our thoughts, share our causes, follow our leaders, and through this, we are standing by the victims in Boston. We keep in touch with the front line of the Arab Spring, and we lean in with Sheryl Sandberg. And these kinds of organic interactions are actually leading to more people saying and doing what they feel is right. And they're sharing with the world. Now, they're acting still with courage, but much more habitually, and much less alone, and in that sense, with much less need to feel courageous. Leaders of tomorrow, knowingly or not, we are the ones pioneering this change. Let us embrace that, and let us use that to our advantage. Let us use this to let our voices be heard by the world. And when we think about it, the same kind of forum for organic interaction can be replicated in existing institutions. I think there should be more value placed in engineering serendipity in our workplaces, in our institutions, through architecture, through initiatives, through corporate structures. Because in an environment where interaction is limited, I think it's the courage of the leaders of today that will open up the floor for the rest. As a final thought, when we embrace courage in our societies today, we are also held responsible to protect, as societal principles, the collective virtues that provide a guideline for our drives. It makes perfect sense to me that the remaining 5 virtues in the Bushido, the samurai code are benevolence, honesty, honor, loyalty, and politeness. Because I think it is these that precisely protect the sanctity of rectitude and of our courage. So here we are today in St. Gallen, 1,000 people from 60 different countries, gathered together serendipitously. And whether it be on the scale of the entire world or a microcosm of it like this, the organic interactions between people, and I think that's precisely what the organizing committee has worked so hard to create here, is essential in creating a more understanding and fearless environment. So let us take this privilege to challenge each other, and may the interactions over the next 2 days redefine courage in the world today. Thank you.